Hi, I'd like to welcome you to this video. In this video, we'll be looking into how not to get deported if you're living in Europe or you're living anywhere in the West or in the US, in America as a whole, how not to get deported. For people that are just joining us on this channel, my name is Mark Orji. I currently live in Germany, and this channel I usually talk about how to travel to Europe, to Germany, and how you can regularize your stay as well, how you can get your resident permit and go on to getting your citizenship as well, and also how to invest in real estate as a foreign national as well. And I'm looking in the nearest future in a situation whereby we will love to separate the real estate content on an entirely different channel. And then this channel will be mainly about how to travel to Europe or to Germany and how to settle, get your resident permit, and how to navigate the system to go on to get your citizenship. Yeah, but in today's video, we'll be looking into how not to get deported. You see, since time immemorial, humans has always moved around in the world looking for a better life or a better living condition. So for that reason, humans has been moving around all over the place. White people have been doing it, black people has been doing it. All humans has been doing it. Everyone has been moving around here and there since time immemorial. So it's not a new thing, and it's always going to always be so. As long as, in some region in the world, people are going through difficult times and or they're famine in some part of the world, some people there will, decide they want to move to a better place where they can get where they can secure a better living condition for themselves and their family. So yeah, when I see people that move around, I don't no hard feelings about it. It's something, it's a thing, humans has been doing from time immemorial, basically. Well, anyways, in this video, we're looking into how not to get deported. You see, when we talk about deportation, especially for people that just arrive in Europe newly, or you're just traveling, or you just arrive in America newly, if you don't have anyone to genuinely hold your hand and guide you through the system, open your eyes to what to do and what not to do. Because you see, in this Europe, wherever you are, in England, in Western Europe, France, Germany, Italy, wherever it is, they all have similar system. They are all built on a similar system. Now, if you don't have anyone that will genuinely guide you through the system, you will notice that one mistake you make will follow you throughout the course of your life in Europe, and that can eventually lead to deportation. If you know anyone that's been deported, if you can sit down with them and have a conversation with them, and as well, if you guys would like me to bring people that have been deported to the channel and have them talk about their story, if it's something you would like to see, please do let me know. And I know some people that have been deported, and if it's a content you would like to see, I can make that happen. Yeah, but if you know anyone that's been deported, you always find a common thread whereby from when they arrive Europe, from their first year or their second year. For some people, be it in England, you arrive Europe at some point, maybe you arrive with a visitor's visa, and for some reason you have to overstay your visa, but then you need to earn an income to in order for you to pay your bills. And the popular way to do this is by taking up employment with someone else's document. Now, you will notice for some people that work with someone else's document, at some point, like places in England where the immigration enforcement teams, they are always going from one company to the other looking for people that are working illegally or people that are working with someone else's documents. You will notice that some of these people, at some point, their place of work get raided by the immigration officers, and then from then on, they go on to being detained in detention center, even go on to being released temporarily in England. Maybe they claim asylum for some reason, but they are released temporarily pending the time where they decide on what to do with this person, right? And you will notice, for some people, they eventually go on to beat that immigration problem, and they, by way of finding a partner, and they establish a family life. But some people, they go on to beat the immigration problem. But for some people that are unable to beat the immigration, to overcome the immigration problem, you will find out that, throughout the course of their life in Europe, that one mistake, that one problem they got themselves into has led to a chain reaction of many other problems that has eventually led to their deportation. Now, in this video, if I say how to avoid not being deported, I think it starts from when you arrive Europe. The whole thing start, even in some cases, it starts from before you leave your home country. That's when you should set the ball rolling. That's when you should implement the process or the system of not ever getting deported. But for some people, before you ever leave your home country to Europe, you don't know how the system works. So you don't know how to build alternatives to how you can have a stronger ties in Europe, how not to get deported, basically. Yeah, but then you find out when you arrive Europe and you live in Europe for a couple of time, for months or for years, your eyes begin to open to how the system works, and if you're lucky, by this time you've not made any mistakes. You can begin to build your own personal system in place to secure yourself. You know what I mean? But for people that enter Europe as a student or as family reunification visa, or whatever visa you entered Europe with, when they give you a resident permit, they give you a temporary resident permit. If you enter Europe with a family reunification visa, basically, if you're married to an EU national, but you'll be given a temporary resident permit. It's usually valid for, depending on the country where you live, it's valid for 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. After this time, you can apply for permanent residence. This permanent residence entitles you to live permanently in that country. But for the period of time when you're given a temporary resident permit, if for any reason why you're living in that country, for example, you're married, if that marriage breaks down, your resident permit can be revoked, and now you can be facing deportation. Do you know what I mean? So if you're in Europe, you're on resident permit or whatever is keeping you in Europe, but you're on temporary resident permit, you should always keep your eye on the bigger picture and always put yourself in a position whereby you have different options, and especially for people on asylum, right? People on asylum, if you're in Europe on asylum, you're in Germany on asylum, from before you go for your asylum interview, you should have different options whereby the story where you're given, if you go for your asylum interview, you give them the main reason, you give them the story, main reason why you've fled your country, what's endangering your life from your home country, the reason why you've come to Europe to apply for asylum. When you give them that reason, if you have any other reason, you should hint it. I'm not saying you should give it to them you should have a second strong reason as well why you cannot go back. You should not give it to them, the complete story on the asylum. You should hint it so that they note it. They note it on your initial story. They, you hint it there. They note it. For example, you say you're fleeing your home country because of your sexuality. Maybe you're gay or you're bisexual, whatever the case is. You're giving them this story, and during the course of the interview, you tell them as well, or because due to the assault you've had to go through in your home country because of your sexuality, you've been having anxiety and depression, and you're basically having mental illness. This is another ground to apply for asylum, right? Now, if for any reason you go on, your asylum process go on and they refuse your asylum claim, before they say they want to deport you, they must have refused your asylum claim. Your asylum claim must have gone for appeal and they refuse it as well. And they said they want to deport you at this time. Now, the way you can, how you can avoid being deported is, now that your case has been refused, your appeal has been refused, everything, you have no right to remain in the country. What you can do is bring on new submission, which is new ground, and with this new ground, you open up an entirely new case for yourself, whereby the immigration will have to go back and take that new claim or that new ground or that new submission you've given to them. They have to go and consider it. They have to go and take it into consideration, because if they ignore it and they deport you back to your home country, if anything happens to you, they can be held liable for your death or for whatever happens to you. So whatever new submission you give to the system, they will have to take it into consideration. They will have to look into it. So when you give them this new ground, I am not guaranteeing you that you will avoid being deported, but what I can guarantee you is this with this you will avoid deportation, and it will buy you time. And with this time, only you now can decide what you want to do with this time. Do you know what I mean? Because there was a friend of mine that had a resident permit, and then because he was married, and at some point the marriage broke down, he lost the resident permit, and they sent him a letter. This happened in Germany. They sent him a letter that, oh, we are looking to deport you because your marriage has broken down, and it's the marriage that's keeping you in Germany. Now that the marriage is broken down, we are looking to deport you. If you have any other reason why we should not deport you, please let us know within 2 weeks, within 14 working days. Now, this is what I called, like I said, the new grounds, new submission. If you have any reasons why we should not deport you, please let us know. Now, this guy was frustrated. He was being depressed. I sent him to some lawyer. He went to this lawyer. The lawyer looked through the whole thing, and the lawyer told him, look, I cannot solve, your problem is complicated. I cannot guarantee you that I will solve your problem. But what I can guarantee you is I will buy you time. And the guy was excited, and he said, yes, time, just buy me time. That's all I need. And this lawyer was able to buy him time. And with that time, he was able to go on to sort out his problem. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, what the tips I'm giving the tips I'm giving you might not be able to, depending, and it all depends on how you're able to conduct yourself, how you're able to navigate the system. Your story and your evidence is how you can back up your story as well. If you can back up your story properly, your new grounds can go on to get to your resident permit, and even go on to get you your citizenship in the country. Do you know what I mean? But even if your story is not strong enough, it will buy you time, and with that time, only you can decide what to do with it. And if you have any concern about how to go about it, and there's a lady as well that emailed me about she's married to a German, and I don't want to say her name in this video because some people might know her, but in case you're watching, she was telling me, oh, she's married to a German, and she, for some reason, she traveled to Africa, and then when her husband is sick, her husband is German, and the husband, they had to return back to Germany, and she tried to apply to get a resident permit because she's married to a German, but for some reason they refused. That's odd. You know what I mean? But she saying a lawyer advised her to go apply for asylum. That's you see, it's like how do I explain this? It's like you have a German passport and you don't even know the power you carry, or how religious people will say you have you're a child of God and you don't even know, you don't understand the you don't understand the power you carry as a child of God. You know what I mean? It's if you understand the right you have as an EU family member. Basically, if you're married to an EU citizen, that makes you a direct family member of an EU national. If you understand the right, the power you have, nobody should be telling you to go apply for asylum. You have no business applying for asylum. However, now that you've already applied for asylum, all you have to do is get a lawyer, have a lawyer look into it, and a lawyer that knows what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? But you have no business applying for asylum. If your marriage certificate is in if you did not get married in Germany, maybe your marriage certificate is in a different language that the German system don't understand. If you require to translate if you need to translate your marriage certificate, go and do so, and go and give your marriage certificate to the foreigners office, to Ausländerbehörde, to Landesamt. You definitely have no business applying for asylum, please. But anyways, as I was saying, if you're facing deportation, all you have to do is come up with new grounds, new submission. This new submission they will have to suspend your removal, your deportation, and they will have to look into your new claim. They have to take that claim into consideration. However long that time period they take to come back to you with a decision, I don't know. It varies from town to town or from country to country. It varies, right? But it will buy you time, and in this time you decide what you want to do with it. I can't tell you what to do with it. Perhaps you have a girlfriend. Maybe this might be the right time for you to let your girlfriend know what's going on, and both of you can sit down and come up with the best solution that works for both of you. Maybe you can go on to get married or have kids. You will decide what you want to do with this time. But what I can guarantee you is this will buy you time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But anyways, this video is well surpassed the 10 minutes time period I was looking to have this video done. And well, anyway, perhaps we might need to have a second part of this topic. And yeah, if you find this video helpful in any way, please, I will encourage you to please subscribe to the channel. And please, if you have any criticism, whatever, please let me know in the comment section. I will be more than happy to reply to whatever concern you may have. And yeah, I will be seeing you on the next video. Until then, have a nice one. Take care of yourself. I'll see you then. Bye. Ciao.